When we get a new major, when we get a new operation, everybody tends to sell up their stuff and put towards that new operation or that new major. Remember, when there's new, interesting, valuable content added to CSGO, that usually causes a market crash. It happened with Operation Riptide, and it happened with this past major, right? We are only now starting to see a recovery. I fully expected this to happen. Do you remember, so right now it's the beginning of June, do you remember for the beginning of May, I sat here and said, I know what's going to happen to this dragon kill. Do you remember me making some VODs that I passed around? Because I did it on stream and I cut them up and I told you, okay, so this is going to suffer because it had far too many people that bought in excess, aka it was looking to be oversaturated. And I expected it to suffer up until maybe around the middle of June, maybe up till July. Remember that? If you're confused, I've got the VODs right here. So here you go. That one and that one. They are in my highlights for Rust. Or you can always just come and ask me. I was looking at this and I was seeing potential problems. And lo and behold, what happened with the Dragon Rage kill? Well, as time went on, during its whole lifetime, throughout May, all of May, it just kept going down and down and down and down and down and down and down. At one point, it was selling for about $1.40 a piece. At one point, there was about 800 on the market. People were dumping them, but that was expected. I knew this would happen. But now, things are starting to look a bit different. There's only 255 of these on the market now. The price is $2.11. That's not great, but do you see any major dumping going on? I don't. Now, there might be some probably buried all the way up here at a higher price, that's true. But the main thing I want to point out to you is this. We had our Antwerp discount sale come out, and it didn't really impact CSGO, did it? Because it just didn't really make that much of an impact. People acted prematurely, and we had the market dip early. And now that we noticed it didn't really have that much of an effect, even now, you're starting to see Rust recover. The Dragon Rage kilt, it was dumped. Its price went down. But lo and behold, you're starting to see the beginnings of it starting to go back up in price. The summer hype has begun. And you might sit there and say, well, it doesn't stop the fact that there's far too many of these currently in circulation. That's true. That is true. If we just go check back again once more, what was it, May 5th? No, it came out in like April 28th. April 28th, I'm true, yep. Over 40,000 of these exist. And when you compare it to the total amount of sales that the likes of the Pants and the high quality metal had, yes, there are more of these. But then, at the end of the day, right, you can still use these as a replacement for Blackout Kilt. That's still a cheaper replacement. And it doesn't necessarily ruin it too much. You could always buy this and then buy the chest plate and then kit yourself out everything else Blackout. You can mix and match it very easily and you save a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure lots of people are aware of that. And people will start jumping in and buying out this stock again soon. Yes, there are some of these things that are not doing great at the moment, but that's the point. Like, now's the turning point. Quantities are going to start going down on the market. Prices are going to start going back up. Now, if we ever have another market crash, of course you're going to see people probably throwing these onto the market, trying to make some quick money. That's just the nature of how it is. That happens regularly. Like, when there's demand, prices do remain stable. Like, what's a good example? Whiteout. There's 330 of these that exist, right, on the market. I would usually assume this would suffer, but no. Whiteout has always been wanted. It's good for the snowy environments. It's technically great camouflage for the ice, the snowy areas. So this always usually goes up, down, depending on what the current situation is with the well, the Rust economy, but the Steam economy as a whole. Now, yes, it has sloped downwards quite recently, but everything has. Towards the end of April and the beginning of May, we had a high point, and then most things went down in price. We actually pointed that out very recently when I said something that's always a good indicator to see how well things are doing in Rust. Take a look at the likes of the high quality bag, the high quality crate, and the weapon barrel. For this instance, I'm going to do the bag. And as you are aware, in the bag, this is what has all of the armor and clothing, correct? So if we just scroll down and see the sales data, you can see it right there instantly. We had a high point towards the end of April, beginning of May, and then it sloped downwards. But even here we're starting to see it. We went down to our lowest point, but now we're starting to rise back up. It's not a massive gain at the moment, but we're starting to get there. So yeah, Dragon Rage. Keep an eye on it. The tides probably have turned now, and we're probably going to start seeing these going into the positive, because it is in demand. People do like Dragon Rage. And yeah, that's it. So basically, let's see how it goes. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out for the next 2 months. Kids are out of school. They're playing Rust. Highest player count since the beginning of this year. Let's see.